Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. This is it's going to be an afternoon after the game before show for you. By the time you see this, I've the second time I've had to record this because I've got this stupid fucking soundboard thing, and I recorded a 20-minute ramble, and the monster robot filter was on. So luckily I played it back afterwards, or that probably would have made it sound a little bit better. But I hope you're all well. I hope you've all sort of recovered from the excitement of our fantastic win against the shit of Serbia yesterday. You know, TSC, the team that everyone else manages to batter, including Freiburg, who beat them 5-0. But we are just absolutely dragged our heels. It was like that game resembled like a piss bloke who stumbled out of a pub after a 9-day bender. He's fallen into the middle of the road and he's crawling out on his elbows and his knees just to fucking climb to get to the curb for safety. Do you know what I mean? We're just luck. David Moyes he's like a cat. He is. He's this season. His 9 lives are almost up already this season. They are. If you go back to I don't know the Brighton and the Chelsea games. They were 2 games where, our counter-attack was effective in those games and our finishing was clinical, but we were fuck lucky in both of those games. Our goalkeeper got man of the match. Areola pulled off 3 world-class saves in one game against Brighton that you'll be lucky to get in a whole season. He done it in one match. Luton, another day the James Ward-Prowse penalty gets given. That's another one. That's 3, and we're only 4 games in. And you look at the last run of games, Olympiacos, late goal. That's what's that, 4? Then Forest, late goal, 5. Then we got Burnley, late goal, 6. He's up to 7. He's up to 7, people. He is at some point. He's going to be licking his arse. He'll get a Furby. He'll choke on one of these games. He will. It's going to happen. The day is coming soon. But yeah, look, I don't know whether I already asked you, but we are pushing for 10k. So please, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Drop a like on the video as well, because it does really help us. It helps the algorithm. All right? Tells other people to watch it and listen to me ramble on. Hopefully not like a robot this time. But look, before this run started, when we was in the international break, I predicted that we would win all 4 of the games that we've just won. I know that my mind changed a little bit and I got a little bit sort of, especially after the Olympiacos game, I was like, oh no, we're going to lose to Burnley and Forest now because we were so shit. But before this run started, my prediction was that we were going to win these 4 games. I did not foresee that we were going to struggle in these 4 games. I didn't. Not against Olympiacos, not against Forest, not against Burnley, and not against TSB. TSB? That's a bank. TSC. Not against TSC either. I thought we was going to wipe the floor with them, and I thought it was very important that we did because we had such a congested fixture pile-up coming up, and the next 8 games are critical. Now, the way that I predict it now, okay, because I did my predictions at the start, but I'm revising my predictions. So if you want positivity, turn away now. Turn away now. I personally think we're going to lose to Palace at home. They're a team that I don't think that David Moyes could outbore because of Roy Hodgson. I think he's a wily old fox, and they're a team that outplayed us last year as well. I think they're playing better football than us this year. I know they've lost Eze and someone else, and Mikel Antonio ain't playing for us this year, so that's only going to help them because he does like making a fuck up against Palace, doesn't he? But I do think that we'll beat them. I think that we're going to get hurt at Spurs. I do. I think that they are going to wipe the floor with us. I can see us getting beat away at Fulham. I think we'll lose away at Fulham. Okay, I know what you're thinking. No way, Nick. Honestly, I think we're going to lose. And here's the big one, the one that none of you are going to like or agree with. Freiburg are not the same Freiburg that we played in the first leg. And we are not the same West Ham that played Freiburg in the first leg. They are purring now, especially in Europe. They are battering and breezing past teams that we're struggling against. They battered Olympiacos. They battered TSC. If I was Freiburg coming against us, this is kind of a big stake game. Big stakes, because whoever wins the game, tops the group, goes to... I know we only have to draw it, but we've got to play for the win. But whoever does that goes top of the group. You go straight into the last 16. You avoid playing a Champions League reject. It's still a Champions League team. Could be Newcastle. Could be Milan. Could be anyone. You just don't know who. So it's a big game. It's a massive game. I think they're going to do us. I think if they come at us and they go toe-to-toe and show us no respect, which I think they showed us too much of last time, they'll beat us. They'll beat us. We're shit at the moment. We're a shit team. I think we've got the balance all wrong. I think we've got no midfield because he's going to persist with Ward-Prowse and Souček in the middle because occasionally Ward-Prowse's corners work and Souček's banging in goals at the moment. I'll get on to Souček after. Souček's someone I'd keep in the team. It ain't even about keeping them in the team. It's having them all in that midfield. That's my problem. And that's most people's problem, I think. But I do think that he's going to keep on persisting with it because it's what he does, you know. Everyone else can see the faults and then it takes him about 5 more games to see it and actually make a change. The same will happen. We will see the end of Souček and James Ward-Prowse in the middle. At some point, those two will no longer be in the middle and it will take ages for Moyes to finally accept that that is the case. But we will get there. We will get there. He's just a bit old and he's a bit slow, all right? You've got to wait for him. You've got to wait for him to catch up to the rest of us. Shouldn't really be like that for someone who's on £5 million a year, should it? But it is. That's where we are. So, yeah, I do think we're going to lose to Freiburg. Then what I think is I think we'll either lose or we'll either win or we'll draw against Wolves in the middle. What that does is it's right in the middle of this little run. That separates it out nicely. He ain't got to worry now because that's put a stop to the 6-game rule. Then what we'll do, I believe that we will get really, really quite badly embarrassed bum hurt away at Liverpool. I think we're going to be out the EFL Cup. I think they're going to do us. Then I think Man United, Arsenal and Brighton will all beat us, all of them. And I think that there's going to be some heavy defeats in there as well. Not all of them, but I think there's going to be some heavy ones in there as well. So I firmly expect this to go quite badly. Like I said, especially the way that we're playing. And knowing David Moyes, you can trust in David Moyes to keep doing the same thing. So if he keeps doing the same thing, this is how I see it going. It is fucking turgid. The football, again, was dreadful. Some of the worst football I've seen against Burnley. Taking away, separating the fact that we've got all those players that we kind of purr over and stuff like that. Forget that. The football was as bad as anything we saw under Sam Allardyce, that game against Burnley. It just was. It was as bad as anything. And this game was even worse. This game was worse. It was terrible. This team is shit. TSC are rubbish. And to be honest, they looked like they were better coached than us. Their patterns of playing, their passing and their movement looked better than ours. Those players, you can see it. You can see from their demeanour that they are not happy. Those players are not happy in the slightest. So I do think that it's going to go bandy. But what will happen is, come the Brighton game, if we lose that one as well, and it goes as catastrophically wrong as what I've just said, everyone, even the Moyes in Rimmers that we've got out there, who I'm convinced think Moyes equals trophies, once they realise that we're in trouble when we're out the EFL Cup and we're dropping down the league, they'll wake up as well. They're a bit like Moyes, a bit slow, I think. Not all Moyes inners, just the ones that give me abuse on Twitter. All right, all the other ones are all right, but that lot, fucking hell, bit slow. They think Moyes equals trophies, right? And I think once they find out, there's going to be a lot of noise made after the Brighton game if it goes that way. But then do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen then. He'll go and beat Sheffield United and Bournemouth. And then we start all over again. He's going to be here all fucking season, that bloke. He's going to be here all season. Because I said it before. I said there's enough shit in this league to sustain David Moyes for the entire season if the rule is you have to lose 6 games. We're at no risk of going down. Even if we do lose all of these games that we've got coming up, we still won't be anywhere near the fucking relegation zone. Those teams at the bottom are dead. I mean, if Burnley couldn't beat us the way that we played the other day, they ain't going to beat anyone, ever. Honestly, they're not. They were shit. We were shit. And if they couldn't beat us there, then they're gone. They are gone. But yeah, I just kind of, I just can't stand it anymore. I physically can't stand it. The people that defend it, this stupid argument that keeps being bandied about, even at that full time at that game yesterday, you got people on Twitter, there's nothing to celebrate really, is there? After nicking a fucking win away at that place, there's nothing to celebrate. The way I see football, right? I see football as art. You could say I'm a little bit of a football purist, okay? Talking of art, canningtownlen.com. If you want to go and grab yourself a paqueta for Christmas, go and grab one. I'm well happy with that. I love it. Great place. They do more than Pac-Man as well. There's loads on there. But I think football is art, okay? And I think that most managers in the Premier League now, they put all the prep into creating a masterpiece on a match day to go out there and sort of blow the opposition away and make the best of their strengths to go out and play beautiful football. But then you've got other managers, very few of them in the Premier League, but David Moyes is one of them, and he's like a Just Stop Oil protester that goes and wants to throw orange paint over a masterpiece. You know, he's anti-art. He doesn't give a fuck about being pretty. All he cares about is getting the points. So you got most managers in the Premier League want to entertain their fans and they want success as well. They see that all elements are important, but then you've got David Moyes, who's basically turned football into a game of chess, and he uses his players as chess pieces. That's what he does. That's what we're watching. Human chess. It's fucking boring. It is. And as for everyone getting on Mabama's back after yesterday, how many chances did Mabama miss? Tell me. Talk to me. How many chances did Ings miss? How many chances has Antonio missed, really, this season? We don't create any fucking chances. And did you see the amazing one-man press that Mabama was doing? He was trying to emulate Antonio. He was chasing the keeper, chasing the back line. He was doing all of that. He was running tirelessly, and it was all for nothing, all for fuck all. Because you can't do a one-man press when you're going up against 2 or 3 players because they just played the ball around you. You're running for no reason. I'm not having to go at Mabama for that, but this is what David Moyes expects. It's the one-man press. Just go out there and run a bit, lad. Go on, just go and run. Run. When you press, you should press as a team. One man goes to the ball, your teammates go and block off passing lines, so they can't play the fucking ball around you. So you force them into an issue. That's what should happen. But David Moyes, again, he's a little bit... He don't give a shit, does he? He don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, like I say, we've all had a little glimpse as to what we could expect from this team against Arsenal in a game where we all know that Heitinger had a massive influence on that game. That was a rumour leading up to it. It wasn't really kind of dismissed afterwards. And we saw it on the pitch. It was a completely un-David Moyes performance. There were players in their right positions. There was only one of Souček and James Ward-Prowse in the team. You had Souček, Paqueta and Alvarez in the middle. A perfect balance in midfield. James Ward-Prowse was on the bench. We were pressing as a team all over the place aggressively. And we was pegging Arsenal back. We took them by surprise. We was creating chances from open play. Especially in that second half, we came out on fire. It was the most anti-David Moyes performance you've ever seen, and it was a thing of beauty. My most favourite performance of the season. It was. And for those that say I'm not positive, go back and watch my post-match review from that one. I even gave David Moyes a 9, and I took the donkey off momentarily because he missed it, and he was shit again in the next game. But it goes to prove that we have the personnel to be able to play in a different way, to play in a better way, to play football the right way. What we're doing now is fucking haram for football. It is. There is no excuse for it anymore. And like I say, he's going to get found out. He's a lucky arse manager. Lucky. He's lucking out. That's all he's doing. And that luck will run out because it just will. It just will. I truly believe it. In relation to the other thing that people say an awful lot is that our backup players are shit. They're not shit. They're not shit. You've just got a situation whereby players, they know that they are purely backups. I mean, Soufal, Alvarez and Kudus were all, apparently they've all got David-19, haven't they? They've all got the David-19 virus, which is, you know, I reckon they've all got that. I've got that as well. But they were left at home to be rested. The players know that. And he came out in a press conference and said it before. I'm resting my key players, my first team players. These players know they could come out. Ben Rama, Fornals, they know. Fornals could have scored a hat-trick. Wouldn't have been the same on the weekend. Makes no difference. Nothing. You know? And they're not motivated. They're not. It's got nothing to do with our backup players being shit. It's got everything to do with them not being sharp and not being motivated. You know? And this is the other problem that I think that we've got, because I don't believe that these players are shit. Maybe Benny needs moving on, but players like Fornals, no. Even Johnson, you know, one of the managers that we've been linked with uses fullbacks as fullbacks. They don't bomb on. Johnson's a good defensive right back. If he didn't have the, if he wasn't pushed to get up the pitch all the time, which is the weakest part of his game, he would probably remain a very good fullback. But he's a player we're going to lose a lot of players. There is a lot of disharmony in that team, and the longer we keep this guy here, the worse it's going to get, the more the rot is going to set in. This divide in the fan base is sickening. You know, West Ham Twitter sunk to an all-time low yesterday. I know I do bring on a lot of the shit that I get myself, especially now, because after what happened last time, I don't take Twitter seriously at all. After the abuse that I got on there, I'm just on there basically probing those wankers now. But when you see the depths of what these people can go to, you got an illustration of it yesterday. Jess Baker-Smith, who's a lovely girl. She's a West Ham fan that works with the West Ham Way. She goes on their YouTube channel. She works for the club as well. She works for the club. She's a bit of a sensitive girl. She's been through a lot. She's kind of got mental health issues. She's had other issues as well, and she's really kind of done well to get herself back on track. And the whole world knows this as well because her story's been put on that platform, so they all know. And the shit that she got because she dared with 13 away points to get herself a ticket for Serbia away, and she got pictured. The abuse that she got was fucking bad. It made some of the abuse that I've been getting bad, and that just goes to show you. It goes to illustrate to you if they're willing to attack a kind-hearted person like that who is just a West Ham fan, probably got a ticket from the club because she does work with the club, or a friend. So fucking what? If I'd have been given a ticket, I'd have gone and all. The only difference is I'd have been doing all that to you from there. I'd have been smug. She wasn't. She just went to the game. She supports her team. She goes to all the away games in Europe. She goes to all the games. You know, I don't... And the abuse that she got was terrible. And I just wanted to say, Jess, honestly, don't let these fuckers push you off of Twitter. Don't let them push you off of anything. Keep your chin up. 99% of West Ham fans, I'm convinced, are good people. They are. Whether you agree with their opinions or, you know, none of us agree with each other. You put any two West Ham fans in a room, we'll argue and we'll disagree. But most of us are decent people. And it's only a small minority of scumbags that will attack you like that. And it seems like there's lots of them. There aren't. The majority of them, they're just little trolls, little playground bullies. You know, it's a horrible cesspit of a place. And if it wasn't for the fact, for me, I'm just refusing to go off that platform now because I won't be bullied off. I'm just existing on there now just to piss people off. Once David Moyes goes, my plan is to do one last tweet and then I'll close the account down because I don't need to be on there anymore. I don't need to be on there anyway. You know, it doesn't. You know, they're completely separate. Twitter and YouTube, they're completely separate. I'm only on there. You don't really get any good information on there now anyway because it was always good for news. But now there's so much shit that's peddled on there. It's just not worth it. There's no point with the abuse that you get. It ain't right. So just keep your chin up. Honestly, you know, it's disgusting what's happened. And I know that the majority of people, the vast majority of people will be standing right by your side as well. So yeah, don't let them, just block them and fuck them off. That's all I say. Block them and fuck them off. That's all I do. So yeah, look, that is it from me. Like I say, we are pushing for 10k. I've said it before already. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Drop a like on the video because it does help the algorithm, as I said earlier on. And look, that is it from me. Let me know what your thoughts are on this upcoming run. How good or how bad do you expect us to do? Do you think I'm being a little bit too much of the prophet of doom? I did call these ones as 4 wins, by the way. I did. Okay, the video's there to prove it. All right, but these ones I ain't seeing many wins. I reckon Wolves could be our next win because that's the one that he's going to need to win. He's good at them ones. He's good, but like I said, the cat is running out of lives. I only get 9. And he is a big pussy. All right? So I'll speak to you soon. Come on, you irons.